History month of April. We are studying the last chapter of our history book. It is Roman Empire, page number 112. Objectives: to know about the Roman Empire, its culture and architecture, to know about the impact of rulers in the ancient Roman Empire, to analyze the legendary features of the Roman Empire. This is the map of the Roman Empire, and it is particularly stretched across Europe and into Africa and Asia. It also had major trade links eastwards along the Silk Road to the Han Empire in the China. The Roman Empire. Rome started as a small city that later stretched as the Roman Empire from North Atlantica to the Persian Gulf. The city of Pompeii lived in 79 AD along the coast of Naples, overlooked by the active volcano of Mount Vesuvius. It is actually an area covered the back portion with the active volcano, and its name was Mount Vesuvius. Pompeii was discovered by King Charles III in 1748, and when archaeologists find or when they starting excavating through the rocks, what they did, they particularly used the plaster of Paris in order to maintain the firm shape of the bodies, and it is said that some houses were found and they had a guard dog on the floor, and we can see its picture on same page number 112. This is an image of the Pompeii, and Mount Vesuvius is at the back. The volcanic eruption of the Mount Vesuvius made more than 15,000 people victim of its heat flow. The people got killed. They were particularly working, eating, and playing. It means they were busy in the worldly affairs, and because of the heat flow of the volcano, they could not survive. The volcanic ash turned the city into a new land. It means whole of their city was particularly destructed. The artifacts and buildings is an evidence that Pompeii was the part of the Roman Empire. Like the entire Roman Empire, Pompeii had wide paved streets, variety of buildings, shops, villas, temples, baths, market halls, schools, etc. It is said a third of Pompey's population was actually slaves. Legendary features of the Roman Empire. Aqueduct is particularly a system which was made in order to supply the fresh water to the people. The engineers of the empire made a structural building with pipes that supplied fresh water to its people. The next main feature was the Roman bath. It was actually a series of rooms with water of different temperature. We can see its image on page number 115, and after this topic we are also going to review all the major features one by one. This bath also offered man and woman to bath separately. Roman roads. A 50,000 miles road system was built for military and to facilitate the people and ideas to move throughout the empire. It is said that they used to build straight roads. Roman army. The brave army was one of the factors for the sustenance of the Roman Empire. It means they were particularly saved by their army system, and it is also considered an exceptionally strong army. Roman soldier. The soldiers were also called legionaries, and they were issued with the armor and a long curved rectangular shield to cover their bare legs. And they had iron swords and daggers. Roman education. There is no any evidence of any school or rooms classrooms, particularly in the Pompeii, but it is said that children were taught in a rented or public spaces, and the room considered near about 30 seats. They were taught Latin, Greek, and basic arithmetic. They used to write on tablet coated with wax, which they marked with wooden sticks. And the use of the wax particularly make it easier for them to remove all the written inscriptions, and then they can rewrite another objects on it. Roman entertainment. Amphitheater at Pompeii could seat near around 20,000 people. And who are they? Physically fit male slaves called gladiator. What they used to do? They used to stage performance, and they could fight to death in order to provide entertainment to its people. Roman numbers. Now, this is very common because we also use this number nowadays. Alphabetical letters were used to count prices, etc. They are still used today. Roman graffiti. Graffiti is particularly an art in which some kind of letters or some kind of words are used to write on a wall. And their building had amazing designs and culture of their empire in the Latin language. And the language is still used. And also to note over here that plants have a scientific name in Latin. It means all the plants, they are actually have scientific name in Latins. This is now the image of the graffiti, which is done in one of the buildings of the Pompeii. And here's the image of the Roman numbers, as we can write 1 like I and 2 for double I. Similarly, the Roman bath system is here, in which we can see the men are particularly bathing in the separate portions, and it is because they have different temperatures of the water. This is the place, Amphitheater. It is an open air venue used for entertainment, performances, and sports. They have also one major part which is known as a Colosseum. It is basically used to provide a permanent purpose-built arena in the center of ancient Rome for staging various forms of entertainment for the ancient Romans. It is also a gift to the Roman citizens. Roman Republic government. Originally, the city of Rome had kings, but eventually they were expelled. It means the Roman kings were thrown, and they now used a new system, and it is known as republic. Republic means a state without king. This republic system give major rights to the people. For example, the people are now able to vote and contest in elections. They had own property and make legal agreements. They could marry Roman citizen and have children who would be Roman citizens as well. And they will not have to pay some taxes as well. So these are the advantages of the republic system. Ravenna is particularly the last city of the Roman Empire. It is just an image to show you that how they used to consider all the male citizens over here. It is very important now, the Roman people or the Roman caste system. They have particularly divided it into two parts. First is for the rich and second is for the poor. Here is also the image, patricians and the plebeians. The rich were the patricians. They had more rights in majority, but their women had limited rights. For example, they could not own property, but they were not able to vote as well. The poor, who were known as the plebeians, they had less right, their women had less right, and they used to work for the patricians. Also, the Roman society, in which non-citizens were considered as the freedmen or the liberty, and the other non-citizens were slaves. The Romans developed a sophisticated system of laws which gave Roman citizens particular rights and responsibilities, and they were particularly satisfied with their system. It is also served as the base for many European laws. How did the Roman Empire expand? The Roman army won in three successful wars, and it resulted in the complete destruction of the rival empires. Therefore, they were able to take over its land in Italy, North Africa, Spain, and Greece. Julius Caesar, a successful general, he was appointed dictator for life. He was suspected by some of the senators as he was making himself king, and to prevent his leadership, he was particularly assassinated in the Senate. Later, his adopted son and great nephew, Octavian Augustus, became ruler at the age of 19 when Julius assassinated. He helped to defeat the plotters who killed his father, and he also defeated his rivals for power. He made laws to make empire powerful. He received also the title of imperator, which means the field marshal. In 27 BCE, Senate awarded him the title of the Augustus, which means the revered one. Octavian legacy. Towns were named after him, as we have learned in the Alexander the Great that people used to take his name for the towns, and similarly his bust or head with the body till the bust point, it was particularly placed in the temples by people to show their loyalty. Decline of the empire. It is said that the new generals were not wise enough as the Octavian. Although a general could succeed as another emperor, and the major reasons were the political corruption, economic crisis, class conflicts, invasions, and the military threats of the empire. Here is the sculptures of the Julius Caesar and the Augustus. Bust of Augustus, it means his head. It was particularly kept in temples and homes as a sign of loyalty. After the decline of the Roman Empire, it's one of the greatest emperors, Constantine. He decided to divide the whole of the Roman Empire because the empire was too large to be ruled efficiently from the Rome. So what he did? He converted the Greek city of Byzantium into a new capital which he named Constantinople, and it is particularly modern Istanbul. Here we can see in the map two portions. One is highlighted in the red and the other portion is highlighted with the orange. Particularly, the whole was a one state, but after the division, Eastern Roman governed from Constantinople until the rise of the Islam in 7th century CE, and Western Roman governed from Rome, and they were weakened by the successive barbarians. They were particularly a nomadic group. It means they were searching for new lands to settle themselves. Things to remember at the end of chapter: that do conceptual reading of this chapter from your textbook. Focus on its effect from the whole chapter. Mark all important points and dates in your notebook.